Will our Chicago Bears look good again on Thursday Night Football? We break that down next on the Unbearable Sports Podcast.
We're going to take the North and never give it back.
So that's a good pick. You get the corner. I got to go bold, right? I got to go bold for this.
Yeah, she's got some nice long
Welcome
hair.
back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Barron. Make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube and rate the show 5 stars everywhere that you get your podcast, especially Apple Podcasts, because if you do, you will be in the running for a Darnell Wright jersey. We will announce the winner once we reach 58 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. Link down in the description. This could literally be your first time listening. Go out there, rate 5 stars, and you are in. And just give me a way to contact you or just listen to the show, and we'll announce it once we reach 58. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. We are previewing the Chicago Bears versus the Carolina Panthers. And quite frankly, I'm excited about this. I don't know who else is excited. I know that it's 2 bad teams, but that means our Bears have a good chance to win. And my God, I am thirsty for a Bears win, and I really, really want to see it. That's why I'm absolutely pumped to be able to break down this game, talk about the injuries, the offense, the defense, what to look out for, our X factors, and last but not least, our predictions. So let's get this show on the road and let's break down some of the injuries. So I'm recording this Wednesday night mainly because I was going to do it on Tuesday night, but I really wanted to make sure, is Justin Fields going to be playing? He is doubtful, and the ever so sound Matt Eberflus said it's a 51% chance. He said that last week as well, and he wasn't playing. Fields won't play, and I think, honestly, it's pretty smart. I was listening to someone who specializes in injuries. I believe that he's got his doctorate from Stanford University, and when he was talking about Justin Fields and the thumb injury, for anyone that's out there thinking, why is this taking him so long? It's just a thumb. The doctor was saying that, yeah, if he can grip the football, he can play. And it's about gripping the football as strongly as you can so that it's very firm. Where in his opinion, it seems like Justin's able to do that. Now, the big question is that it's very easy to re-aggravate that thumb. That's what the doctor was trying to emphasize. So that's something to me where, I don't want to rush this out. And I think that the Bears are wise to not rush him out because, you don't want that thumb to be agonizing him throughout the year, especially when this year is a lot of prove it for Justin Fields with a potential new regime, with the same regime, whatever it might be. If the Bears are drafting high with a lot of quarterbacks out there, you want Justin to be the best, and I want to see the best out of Justin. So that's why it's kind of taken a little bit long. So a little color on that. But also from a injury report standpoint, Kari Blasingame out with a concussion. Nate Davis still out with that high ankle sprain. Tremaine Edmonds out with the knee injury. Terrell Smith out with his illness with mono, but limited on Wednesday, which that was interesting because wouldn't mono spread to other people? So maybe it's just kind of getting acclimated, getting back to the groove. So hopefully we can get Terrell Smith back. Even though he's just a backup, he's a very valuable backup. And you see how they play Jalen Jones so much. Terrell Smith is a lot better. But also probably the biggest news is Khalil Herbert slated to come back, EQ St. Brown slated to come back, and also Josh Blackwell slated to come back. The Bears cut a couple players, including Greg Stroman, to hopefully make room for a Josh Blackwell in the slot. I'm at least excited to see these players back, and I don't know about anybody else. I'm excited to see EQ St. Brown. I thought I'd never say that, but we see what he can provide as kind of that extra receiver that can just run the offense. You don't need him to do something crazy. You just need him to play well. I think that Scott, yet again, looks okay. He's fast, but he still doesn't look polished. He still doesn't look like that true receiver. EQ St. Brown at least kind of gives a step up, gives that veteran presence out there. Still nothing to write home about, but it's at least nice to see it. But let's actually flip over to the Panthers side. Who do the Panthers have out? The biggest noteworthy one is Brian Burns, their star pass rusher, their star edge rusher, will not be out there. DJ Chark, the wide receiver, most likely will not play. And also just from someone to kind of look out for is Xavier Woods, their safety. A pretty good safety out there that just is questionable so far, was limited today and did not participate on Tuesday and on Monday. So my guess, I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't play. The less good players they can have out there, the better. So if Woods is out, then that's great, because already their other safety is on IR, and same thing with their star corner. So they're down a lot of players. Want to make sure that secondary is very, very weak. But let's get into the actual preview, and let's start out with Tyson Bagent is going to be the big storyline. And who is Tyson Bagent going to be going up against? He's going against not that great of a defense, especially with Brian Burns not out there and potentially with Woods not out there. This defense isn't great. They are the 31st overall DVOA defense, team overall is 31st. Their defense is ranked 28th overall according to DVOA. Also, they allowed the 5th least passing yards allowed per game. So even though the defense is bad, they don't allow a lot of passing yards. They allow the 5th most rushing yards per game. They allowed the 9th worst yards per carry at 4.4. They have the most missed tackles at 74. They blitz the 10th most percent at 28.8, but the 11th lowest pressure rate at 20%. Now, when you look at this defense, like we said, a lot of the players aren't necessarily out there, except Derek Brown, which we'll preview later, is still a good, dominant pass rusher at that interior spot. But overall, this offense is not good. And I think that's something that I'm kind of disappointed about. I would love to see Justin Fields come back and absolutely dominate this bad defense. Now we're going to have a Tyson Bagent-led offense, and hopefully we could still get something going. But I want to just let it be clear that this defense is not great. But I really want to see Bagent at least kind of redeem himself, kind of go in with some confidence and play well. Because this, we said it last week, is this his last time? He's on prime time. Again, hopefully he can look good and really kind of shock the world, quote unquote, and beat the worst team in the league. But hopefully he can put up some pretty good numbers against the Carolina Panthers to keep them at the bottom of the barrel, and then the Bears just moving up. Because especially with draft position, we want the Panthers to be bad, and we want us to be playing as well as we possibly can. But I want to talk about this with Tyson Bagent. I think that the number one thing for Tyson Bagent to look out for is those turnovers. Tyson Bagent has the highest interception rate at 5.5%. That is obviously not acceptable. You need to really kind of turn those down, because we saw those interceptions really give the game away to the Saints last time. But also, it's so important because quietly this Bears team has been looking better and better and better. And it's kind of unfortunate because of those turnovers that are costing the Bears so dearly. The rest of the team has been looking better. Now, yet again, not absolutely incredible, but when you're competitive with a New Orleans Saints team, that's pretty good, especially with the number of turnovers we have. We really need to focus in on that. But I also, hopefully, we can see DJ Moore have another revenge game. Remember last Thursday night when the Bears played, DJ Moore went off for over 200 yards. Really kind of hoping for a duplicate performance against his former team. And honestly, I could kind of see it, because DJ Moore, he breaks tackles. He makes big plays happen, and he's going to say, Tyson, just give me the ball. Just throw it to me. I'll make the big play happen, and I'll make it work. But now, besides the aerial assault that the Bears could be putting on this team, I want to talk about the running game, because this is really how you can really take it against this Carolina Panthers offense, and we have an interesting case. The running backs should all be healthy. So I asked this last time, but if you missed the last episode, let me know what you think is going to happen with this running back situation, because this is where it's going to be interesting. Khalil Herbert coming back was the number one running back for the Bears before he got hurt. And now we have D'Onta Foreman, the number 9 ranked running back, according to PFF. PFF loves him. The fans love him. He's looking good out there as well. I think that D'Onta Foreman is going to be I still kind of stand with it. I still think that Deonta Foreman's going to be the 1B. I still think they're going to give Khalil Herbert a lot of the carries as well. And the more that I look at this, my personal take is I think Roschon's going to be the odd man out when it comes to a lot of these snaps. Maybe he'll get some third down snaps in pass blocking situations, but I really do think that Foreman showed how good he's going to be. And honestly, I'm looking for Foreman, who's also a former Carolina Panther, to have a pretty big game against his former team, especially because he's healthy. He's going to be coming out with a vengeance to say, yeah, I know the guy that beat me out is still out here in Khalil Herbert, and I know he's my teammate. I know he's my friend. I know he's a good guy. But my God, I want to be better than him this week. And I do believe Deonta Foreman's going to have a pretty beastly game against the Carolina Panthers. I think I might have to take the over on him. But I really want to see what Khalil Herbert has and what he looks like. Because if you remember last year, when Herbert came back from injury, he didn't look the same. He still needed some time to kind of get back. So hopefully, though, they didn't rush him back. Hopefully he looks as explosive as he does, because that's how he wins. He wins with his explosiveness and just kind of strong legs, essentially, to really kind of run through some of those wimpy tackles. Also, like we said, this is the highest amount of missed tackles. The Bears should be able to take advantage and really attack this game on the ground. Now, they do have Frankie Louvu, who is one of the most underrated linebackers out there, but still, I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem for the Chicago Bears, because overall, this team does not do a good job stopping the run. I firmly believe that the Bears are going to be able to establish the run and really kind of control the pace of the game. But where is the battle going to be taking place? There is going to be a battle at the right guard spot with our boy, Tevin Jenkins. And if you've been online, if you've been on Twitter, Tevin Jenkins, rightfully so, has just been going crazy. People have been showing his film, showing what he's been doing. And right now, he's the 4th overall rated guard, according to PFF, and rightfully so. And we talked about this in the preseason, where if Tevin Jenkins still plays the way that he played last season, this is a top guard in the NFL, and he's proving it, and he's showing it. He's got the speed. He's got the power. This guy's a top guard. And I think the big question here is, with Nate Davis, do you have Nate Davis play left guard? Because yes, you gave Nate Davis money, but Tevin Jenkins didn't look the same when he was over at the left guard spot. Tevin's over at the right guard spot, and when he plays right guard, he's the best. He's one of the best guards in the NFL. Like, one of the top, no question. But left guard didn't look the same. Now, is it just as simple as, hey, he just had to get a couple of games under his belt, and now if you flip him back to the left side, he's going to look the same? Really, the only person with that answer is going to be the Chicago Bears coaching staff. And is that the correct? Well, they have the correct answer is another story. But to me, Tevin Jenkins, Darnell Wright on that right-hand side, if they're looking the same that they are right there, keep them there. Keep them playing side by side, because what you have is something special on that right-hand side. Nate Davis can come back, play that left guard spot, because to me, the way Tevin is playing, keep him there. He looks awesome. Keep him there. Leave him there. And now he will still play right guard, but he's going against one of the best defensive tackles in the league in Derek Brown, where even though that he was a lot better last year, still this year he's the 24th overall defensive interior player according to PFF, but he's still an absolute menace when it comes to the passing downs. So really, it's going to be key for Tevin Jenkins if he can just kind of take him one-on-one, and then you leave Whitehair and Patrick, easily your 2 worst offensive linemen, going against like a Deshaun Williams in that left, on that left side of the line. Hopefully Jenkins can handle Brown, and then the bad people can handle one person. And then hopefully Bagent can just be not under fire. So that's what I'm hoping for. But what is my X Factor? Who is going to be my X Factor? And let me know down in the comments out there on YouTube, who is your X Factor? And to me, the X Factor is not necessarily the most important person, but it's the person that is going to change the tide of the game. Now, I was thinking about Deonta Foreman. I even kind of want to give it to DJ Moore, because I do believe he can take over. Because Jackson, the cornerback on their side has not been that great. Dante Jackson has not been phenomenal. And I do think that these wide receivers can attack and do well. But my X factor is Tyson Bagent. And we saw it last week. When he turns the ball over, there's nothing that this team can do. And especially against this team, this bad team, to me, if you stick to your fundamentals and the foundation of just ground and pound and controlling the clock, you can do good things. And when we flip over to preview this offense, you'll see that ball control is going to be the key to this game. And to me, it starts with Tyson Bagent making sure and he doesn't put the ball in harm's way. Like I said, highest interception rate out of any quarterback in the NFL. That needs to change, and he does need to make sure that nothing crazy ends up happening. So ball control is key. Bagent is the X factor. And with that, we have a little preview before we go and switch over to the defensive side of the ball. With that, for those that are watching out on YouTube, you see the mustache, you see the terrible facial hair that's coming in on my face. Yes, it never got better since high school. Yes, Johnny PayPal's my brother, and he grew an awesome mustache. For me, it's not great. I don't have the same genetics, I guess. But it's Movember. I'm celebrating Movember, and you know we like to partner with great causes, and we are partnering with Movember. I will be donating a portion of what we make with this show over to Movember. And Movember is not just about mustaches. It's about helping out men with their mental health, suicide, prostate cancer, testicular cancer. It helps raise awareness. So to get screened for testicular cancer, prostate cancer, make sure to take care of yourself. I know I think it's like 99% of the people watching this show are men. Take care of yourself and make sure that you are good. And that's why we are going to be donating over to Movember as they stand for a great cause. I need to put a link down below in the description. I'll try and do that and try to get our own link as well so that we can raise money for a great cause. And after the end, then I can shave this absolutely disgusting mustache from my face. But we still have an entire show to go. And actually, probably the more disgusting thing real quick, it's probably my hair right now. I need a haircut badly. and it's just growing out. It's just an absolute mess. Thank God if you're listening to the podcast. But let's go over to this defensive side of the ball, shall we? So let's preview the Bears defense versus this offense. So what can I tell you about this Carolina Panthers offense? Well, I could tell you they're the 31st ranked offense according to DVOA, and they're also 31st in yards per play. What does that mean? They are bad. And second highest interception rate, or Bryce Young has the second highest interception rate. So the Bears should be able to take advantage of this and hopefully turn the ball over. Couple other stats: sixth worst passing yards per game, third lowest pass blocking grade according to PFF, and the fifth worst pass blocking grade, or run blocking grade overall. So what does this mean to me? Ladies and gentlemen, we have to pressure the quarterback. This is one of the worst pass blocking offensive lines in the league, like I mentioned. The Bears need to take advantage. This is a good get-right game for the Bears. This is also a great opportunity for Montez Sweat to show, hey, listen up. This wasn't an overpay. I'm worth this. I can stuff the run and I can rush the passer. I want to get 2 sacks today. And you're going against Taylor Moton, who's a good right tackle, but this year has really kind of taken a step back. It really does seem like the whole juju with this team is not great. Now, is Moton an absolute dominant force this year? No. And normally he's a pretty good tackle. This year has really, really struggled. But when you look across the line, you have Calvin Throckmorton has not played well. Ekwonu, the 6th pick overall last year, really has not looked too great this year, especially in the pass blocking department. Bradley Bozeman really kind of has taken a step back. Everyone just really hasn't looked great. And now Austin Corbett is playing right guard for them, kind of stepping in because their rookie did not look good. So now the Bears can attack this line and really can kind of put some pressure. That is a huge key to this game. We talked about this with the Saints. We got to get pressure. Now, can we get pressure again? If we are not able to get pressure, I'll start to be very concerned about this pass rushing unit with Montez Sweat coming in. Now, I will say, too, when you look at the stats of Montez Sweat after the game, Montez Sweat won a lot, and when you watch the film, he won a lot of his pass rushing snaps. He just didn't get to the quarterback. Like we said, he's a good player. He's going to beat the guy in front of him in the running game and in the passing game. He just might not put up a lot of the stats. So that's something I want to be watching him a lot this game, and hopefully he can come up big. And also, maybe we send a couple blitzes, really try and rattle this rookie quarterback who's very short in Bryce Young. Try and blitz him. Try and get into the face of Bryce Young and really attack this quarterback. The only other things, too, that I'll kind of bring up as well is from the rushing perspective. When running the football, Chuba Hubbard, 3.9 yards a carry. Miles Sanders has been a huge disappointment. Who would have thought going from the best offensive line in the league to a bad offensive line would affect him this much, right? Definitely not us on the show. And of course, sarcastically speaking, that was something that I definitely preached was Sanders benefited from an offensive line, and you really see it, only averaging 3.3 yards a carry this year. So really the entire running game has not been able to get started, obviously averaging 3.9 overall yards per carry. So the Bears also had the number one rushing defense when it comes to yards allowed per carry. So I think that the Bears are going to be able to stuff this running game. So it's going to be all on Bryce Young. Now, how do you stop Bryce Young? There's two things you can do to stop Bryce Young. Number one, Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is his number one target. He's kind of Andrew Luck and Reggie Wayne when they first kind of came together. He looks at the veteran wide receiver, and he keeps throwing it his way. Adam Thielen, 76 targets, 62 receptions. When you throw it to him, he's very accurate. It's accurate to him, and he's going to come down with the ball. Thielen is the person to look at and to try and stop because he is his number one target, and Thielen has not lost a step. He's in the slot, and to me, the biggest matchup is going to be Thielen versus Kyler Gordon. And also, too, how does Bryce Young throw the football? Bryce Young has the shortest amount of air yards per completion for qualifying quarterbacks. He likes to throw it short. He likes to take the easy passes. And what do the Bears love to do? That's right. We love to give up the easy stuff really quick, things like that. So hopefully, pray that the Bears switch this up with Snow as the defensive assistant. Hopefully they choose to, you know what, maybe we should kind of press up and really kind of pressure this young quarterback. I think that that's the best way to go about it. And I think if you don't do that, something's wrong with the scheming and the game plan. So please, Matt Eberflus, show that you can game plan against this offense. Besides that, though, I'm just kind of looking, Eddie Jackson kind of coming back. That's another big thing. And also, if we just look at the injury report as well, yeah, like I'm excited to see kind of just what ends up happening with this secondary because Tyreek Stevenson is not going to be going against some great wide receivers on the outside. You're talking about Jonathan Mingo, who is a rookie, and then you're also talking about a Terrace Marshall, who the Panthers have been hoping to get a lot more out of him, but he just hasn't looked great. So I'm hoping Tyreek Stevenson has a big game and can really kind of lock down some lesser wide receivers as he goes against them. Now, would the Bears put Jalen Johnson over on Adam Thielen? I think that's a question, but I think overall, they're not going to do that. I think Jalen Johnson's having an absolutely great year, and he's only played 7 snaps as the slot corner. So I don't think that they're going to have him go over Adam Thielen or anything like that. And just if you're curious, Adam Thielen, 355 snaps from the slot, 160 out wide. So yes, he does go out wide, but predominantly a slot receiver. So that brings me to who is my X factor, right? Who is going to be the big X factor that I think that can turn the tide of this game? Now, I always like to say the coaching staff in situations like this because I think that they need to make sure that they play uptight. But to me, Kyler Gordon is that guy. You have we have had a lot of time with Kyler Gordon. He should be back fully healthy. You are going against the veteran. Adam Thielen always seems to have the Bears' number. This is going to be the challenge. You have the most important job out there. You need to be on him. I think Eberflus, the reason why I didn't choose anybody on the defensive line, I think Eberflus is going to dial up some pressure with Sanborn and Edwards, the best linebacking duo in the league. But I do think that Kyler Gordon, it's a big game for him. This is a big statement game because if he can lock down Thielen, this is going to be easy. This is going to be easy for the Bears. But this is the reason why I think that it's all going to be about ball control for the Chicago Bears. They're really going to have to lock in and not turn the ball over and then force the turnovers from this rookie from this rookie quarterback, because you better believe it, that this rookie is going to want to try and prove himself, right? This is the reason why you traded these assets to this team. It's going to be a big game for him, and I do think that the Carolina Panthers probably know that. Yes, they're not making the selections, but there is a little bit extra, I think, riding for them. So let's talk about the game predictions. What do I think is going to happen? And also, let me know what you think down below. Give me your score predictions. Are the Bears going to win? And also give me a bold prediction. I'm talking big. I'm talking bold. What is your bold prediction down in the YouTube comments? Because I look at this. The Carolina Panthers offense is bad. Now, they like to get the ball going, and I'm just looking at their point totals. 10, 17, 27, then 13, 24, 21, 13, and then, or 15, and then 13. They don't score a lot. They really do not score a lot. I think that this is going to be a low-scoring game from their perspective, and I do think that the Bears are going to show out. I am going to say, you know what? I'm gonna say 13. I'm gonna say 13 points for, or I'll go 16. 16 points for the Carolina Panthers, and I'm gonna say that the Bears impress. I'm gonna say 27 points. I think that the Bears get it together. I think that Bagent knows that this is gonna be most likely his last start, and I said that last week, but I think this week he's really gonna hunker in. You saw on tape those misses. Now, fix it, right? Fix it. And I think also a lot of the practice, seeing that he can't make some of those throws because you're coming from D2 and you're adjusting to the NFL speed. I think that is going to be big for Tyson Bagent. I think that Bagent has a pretty big game. Now for bold predictions, I don't know, part of me wants to say Bagent over 300 yards. Part of me wants to do that. Part of me wants another Bears quarterback to go absolutely crazy. Because yet again, bold. We got to go bold with this. The other thing is, maybe we get 2 sacks, maybe we get 3 sacks, but is that bold enough? You know what? I could go with the sacks. I went with sacks last week, was thoroughly disappointed. So I'm going to go the flip side. I do think that the Bears are going to be running the football. But you know, I'm going to go Deonta Foreman over 100 yards. I think he's just going to go off. I think, because I was going to say Bagent. I really want to say Bagent over 300. I think that's fun. But I'm going to go Deonta Foreman over 100 yards. I'm going to say he just absolutely goes off. Even though Herbert's back, Foreman's like, give me the rock. Or 100 all-purpose yards, I'll say. A little bit more tame, but still bold. And last but not least, everyone's favorite guesser. Let me just pull this up. The coin flip. I can't seem to find. Here we go. The coin flip bracket. Heads, Bears win. Tails, Carolina Panthers win. So let's click this and see what they have to say. Bears lose. That's what they have. So I'm going against the coin flip. It always seems to go tails every single time. It's only gone heads once, but I mean, it's been pretty accurate for it so far. So it chooses the Bears to lose. I choose the Bears to win. I'm excited. I'm going to be watching the game with my family. We're going to be having some deep dish pizza. It's going to be a good day. But make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube and rate the show 5 stars everywhere you get your podcast. And with that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we are out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair, and you know that she's a bad